No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at Albert Park, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996, and home to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Antonelli, Yuki Tsunoda, and Russell, Norris, Piastri, Fernando Alonso, and Liam Lawson, Stroll, Hadjar, Alex Albon, and Sainz, Bortoleto, Behrman, Nico Hülkenberg, and Pierre Gasly. Ocon and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me, bringing glamour and expertise to our commentary today, Naomi Schiff. Look, we know it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But let's talk about the start now. What's there to help the drivers get away well?
Well, the race is certainly not won in the first lap, let alone turn one. However, what you can do is prepare yourself ahead of time. Visualize what could potentially happen, different scenarios and where you could place your car. And that will better prepare you to make the right decision with instinctive timing.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap. Okay, gap to the car in front, 4.0 seconds. Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap.
There's room for 3 on their podium, but only ever 1 right at the top. Let the celebrations begin. It's a familiar sight in Formula One, and here it is once again. Lewis Hamilton, with the trophy held high, celebrating a masterful victory. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.